Well, after waiting so long, I finally had the chance to finally review this game, which took me forever just to even get this review out. I do apologize about that, but hey, maybe we can just move forward with that. Maybe not talk about it at all, and just go ahead and get this review done. I dare anybody to bring this up in the comments. We're gonna have to fight at that point.
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
Let's do this. Tales of Anime. At the realm of Caligula. I know I said that wrong, but I'm not going to try to correct myself on this, and you're going to hear me say that wrong multiple times. A Macedonian slave with no memories of his past, nicknamed the Iron Mask, which sounds like an anime, gets himself involved with a group of rebels called the Crimson Crows when they rescue a Renin girl called Shion Weimer, Iris Daymore, which her name is completely long, I don't know why they did this, whom he finds familiar from imprisonment. Shion is afflicted with a curse known as thorns that hurts anyone who touches her. While invading her pursuers, the slave manages to pull a blazing sword from the massacre in Shion's possession and uses it to repel the Renin forces, as only the Iron Mask can wield the sword due to the lack of sense of pain that he has. So, he's pretty much burning himself every time he uses it, and he and Shion form an alliance to take down the 5 lords and gather the other master cores they possess. With the help from the Crimson Crows, the pair confront and defeat Caligula's lord, Balsef, and in the occasion, the slave's mask breaks and he remembers his name, Alphen, and after liberating Caligula, Alphen and Shion go on the rest of the adventure. Have fun with that. Like previous games in the series, Tales of Arise is an action role-playing game, although its gameplay has gone through various alterations as part of its development goals. While retaining the basic Tales battle system, dubbed the linear motion battle system, the game has a big focus on evading and countering, with Tales of Gracie's as its bones, because that was one of the best Tales of games to me. Unlike many of the previous titles in the series, the game does not feature multiplayer, which is a huge bummer, but I can get over it considering that it is a good game. And I kind of play similar to like Dark Souls with the same type of controls, like L1 and R2 being the attack buttons, and every other button does something else, but it does feel good, and it's the new golden standard for Tales games. Just need to re-add that multiplayer though, because that was actually really fun in every previous game. Arise takes place in a setting divided between a medieval world of Dana and the advanced world of Rena. About 3 centuries ago, the Renins, based on Rena's Artificial Moon, Legendus. It's most like he said that wrong again. Invaded and conquered Dana, subsequently enslaving the population and dividing the land between 5 isolated realms, each ruled by a lord. So the areas are different. I can explain those, like the barren and scorching land of Caligula, the dark and cold of Silodia, the fertile plains of Elde Machina, I think that's what it's called, I don't know, the windy mountains of Mogsar, and the rainforest of Ganeth Heros. Each looks good and has a lot of detail, and what goes with that detail is the music. The music also goes into detail with each of the areas and each of the fights that you have in said areas, so the music also adapts with the game as well, which is something that I do like, and I do like how everywhere feels different. So for me, the challenge of this game was actually continuing it past a certain point, and where I did get bored just because it's so anime. It got so predictable after a certain point. Some of the spikes in difficulty for this game are a little bit rampant, and you know, you can kind of get over it once you level up, or you can just lower the difficulty from like normal to super easy, which they did that later, but that's up to you, however you want to do it. Leveling up to the right levels to fight the Giganto monsters is also a pain in the butt because you don't know that levels properly, and when you do, there's still a challenge, so you probably got to be like 20 levels over, especially if you're like hard. Not having enough money to purchase all the weapons for every character that you have, which means you have to grind a little bit extra just for some extra money so you can have the equipment for all the characters that you get in the game. And once again, I just can't fathom enough on why it got so predictable near the end, to the point where by the time you get to the final boss, you're like, oh, that's very obvious. But yeah, other than that, yeah. And you all probably know that my thoughts on this game, while I do think that this is a fantastic game, it's just when it comes to the story department, it starts to slow down about halfway through the game, like as soon as the main character starts getting a lot of his memory back, because the game starts to turn into a very predictable mess. Also, by them adding stuff like the super easy mode and the super hard mode, what's to stop you, because this game has no difficulty trophies, just from putting the game on super easy and running through the game like it is nothing. It genuinely does not have that type of issue. It's very easy. I also can't wait to see what they do for the next set of games, especially in the Tales of franchise. But as of right now, they're making a mobile game. But like I said, this game actually is the new gold standard for Tales of games. There should be nothing less than this in your Tales of game, except for probably re-add the multiplayer, which would make the game a lot more fantastic, especially if I could play with somebody else besides just myself. But other than that, the game is fantastic. It's just, like I said, that story, it just gets super predictable by the time you get to the end, and you're like, oh, okay, alright, cool. Yep, I'm done. So, like I said, I want to thank every last one of you for sticking with me here as we get to the end, and of course the to be continues are coming back now that I'm not doing the Mega Man Marathon this time. And as you can see, I have a special game for the next game, and then I'm going to have an event called the Grab Bag, in which I get random games that I got in my thing, and I'm going to play them and see how it goes. Alright, I will see you guys on the next episode of The Defeationist.